Maria stood at the kitchen sink, her hands submerged in cold, soapy water, staring blankly at the cracked tiles above. The November air seeped through the window frames, making the small apartment feel even colder than usual. Six and Emily 4 sat on the living room floor, coloring pictures on the back of old bills. She hadn't paid. Her mind kept running through the same loop. Rent is due in 3 days. Groceries are almost gone. Christmas is only a month away. Single motherhood wasn't what she had planned. Life had twisted unexpectedly when her husband walked out 2 years ago. Since then, every day felt like a new mountain to climb. Maria wiped her hands on her worn-out jeans and grabbed her wallet. Inside was exactly $7.46, enough for a small bag of rice and maybe a can of beans. "Okay, kids, let's get our coats on," she said, trying to sound cheerful, at the small neighborhood grocery store. Maria carefully picked out the cheapest items she could find. She avoided the toy aisle, though Emily kept glancing at a small pink stuffed bunny sitting on the shelf. When they reached the checkout counter, Maria's heart sank as the total came to $8.15. Her face flushed with embarrassment as she started, putting one item back. "Don't worry about it. I've got it," said a soft voice behind her. Maria turned to see a woman, maybe in her 50s, with warm eyes and a kind smile. "Oh, I couldn't," Maria stammered. But the woman had already swiped her card. Maria's eyes filled with tears. "Thank you. You have no idea how much this means." The woman simply smiled and said, "Pay it forward when you can." Maria left the store with her kids holding the grocery bag tightly to her chest. She didn't know it yet, but this small act was just the beginning. That night, after putting the kids to bed, Maria sat at the kitchen table, staring at the receipt from the store. She thought of the stranger's smile and those simple words, "Pay it forward when you can," just as she was about to turn off. There was a soft knock at her door. Her heart raced. She wasn't expecting anyone. Opening the door, she found a small brown envelope lying on the doormat. No name, no address, just her apartment number written in black ink. Curious, she picked it up and tore it open. Inside was a folded note and a $50 bill. The note read, "You are stronger than you know. Keep going. More good things are coming." Maria's hands trembled as she read the words again and again. Tears rolled down her face. She clutched the $50 tightly, her heart filling with both gratitude and confusion. Who could have left it? Was it the woman from the store? A neighbor? Someone watching over her? The next morning, Maria used the money to buy enough groceries for the week, including a small treat for Lucas and Amelia, a box of their favorite cereal, and for Emily, the little pink stuffed bunny she had stared at the day before as she walked home from the store. A sense of hope she hadn't felt in months began to settle in her chest. That night, Maria taped the note above her bed as a reminder. More good things are coming. Little did she know, the biggest surprise was yet to come. 2 days later, while Maria was walking the kids to school, she noticed a flyer pinned to a telephone pole. Community Holiday Help Program, nominate a family in need. The flyer explained that a local charity was collecting nominations for families to receive holiday gifts and grocery support. Maria sighed. She never liked asking for help. Pride was a stubborn thing. But this was different. Maybe someone she knew had already thought of her that evening. As she walked home from picking up the kids, Maria noticed a woman standing outside her building. With a clipboard, "Excuse me," the woman said. "Are you Maria Thompson?" "Yes, that's me," the woman smiled warmly. "I'm from the Holiday Help Program. Someone nominated your family. We'd love to bring you a care package later this week." Maria's eyes widened. "Someone nominated me?" "Yes," the woman said. "I mentioned how hard you've been working to keep things together for your kids." Maria bit her lip, trying to hold back tears. "Would that be okay?" the woman asked gently. Yes, of course," Maria whispered. "For the next few days?" Maria felt something she hadn't felt in a long time. Anticipation. When Friday arrived, she and the kids stayed near the window, watching every car that pulled up. Finally, just after sunset, a white van stopped in front of their building. Volunteers began unloading bags, big bags filled with groceries, canned goods, fresh produce, and even wrapped gifts labeled with her children's names. Lucas and Emily squealed with excitement as they peeked inside. Maria stood frozen, her hands over her mouth, unable to speak. One volunteer handed her a card. "You've inspired more people than you know. Happy holidays." Maria held the card close, her heart full and overwhelmed. Over the next week, life felt different. Maria cooked full meals for the kids, and for the first time in months, the apartment smelled of homemade soup and baked bread. The kids laughed more. Emily slept with her new stuffed bunny every night. Lucas carried his new toy truck everywhere, but the biggest surprise came one cold Saturday morning when Maria received a call. "Hi, is this Maria Thompson?" a friendly voice asked. "Yes." "Who's this?" "My name's James. I work at Brookfield Community Services. Someone nominated you for our single-parent employment program." Maria's heart skipped a beat. "We offer job placement support and childcare assistance for single parents like you. Would you be interested in meeting with us?" Maria blinked back tears, overwhelmed by this new opportunity. "Yes, I would love that," she said softly. The following Monday, Maria met with James. They talked about her past work experience, her skills, and her goals. Within a week, she was offered a part-time administrative job at a local nonprofit. It wasn't just a paycheck, was a new start. On her first day, Maria woke up early, made breakfast for the kids, packed their school bags, dressed in her best clothes. When she walked into the office, she felt something she hadn't felt in years: pride. During lunch break, she sat outside, pulled out her phone, and took a picture of the kids' drawings she kept in her wallet, the one they'd made on the back of an old unpaid bill. She smiled, knowing life was finally moving in the right direction. Months passed, and with every paycheck, Maria slowly rebuilt her life. The rent was paid on time. The fridge stayed full. The kids thrived at school, but Maria never forgot the kindness she had received the woman at the grocery store. The anonymous enveloped the community volunteers. One spring afternoon, while shopping for groceries, she noticed a young woman at the checkout, nervously counting coins, just like she once did. Maria didn't hesitate. She stepped forward and said with a smile, "I've got this." The woman looked at her in shock. Maria simply winked and said, "Pay it forward when you can." That evening, Maria sat at her kitchen table, writing a thank you letter to the Holiday Help Program. She shared her story, how a stranger's kindness had snowballed into food on the table, toys for her kids, and even a new job. She ended the letter with these words: "Sometimes, hope doesn't come in big packages. Sometimes, it comes in a small gesture, a paid grocery bill, a kind word, an anonymous envelope. Thank you for reminding me that even in my hardest moments, I wasn't alone." A week later, Maria was invited to speak at a community event. Nervous, but excited, she stood on stage and shared her journey. Her voice trembled, but her message was clear: kindness matters. One small act can change a life. She stepped down from the stage. People stood and clapped. Lucas and Emily ran up to hug her tightly. For the first time in a long while, Maria felt light, free, and hopeful. The circle of kindness had come full circle, and she was ready to keep it going.